the ColorLogic system works accurately because we have characterized all of our colors and our decorative effects based on what the printing press can do. So we've basically studied all major press manufacturers, whether that's printing with white ink or silver ink or toner, and we then built a system around it. So all of our algorithms in our plugins, all the color formulations in our swatch books are based around what the press can achieve. So from there, we now know what is achievable with the machine. We can now use those tools to do color separation. So that could be in Illustrator, like we're in now, to show you. We could be packaging labels, etc., using our dedicated metallic palettes. Could be in InDesign as well, but today we're going to demonstrate how to do the image separation that we did for Printing United on your files. So as a quick demonstration to compare against how white ink is usually done versus what we do with ColorLogic, on the left hand side we have the traditional old-fashioned white ink mask. Now that basically means you have to create a separation where you want to see the white. Now you can't see white on a computer screen if you make it white. So for anybody that's not familiar with this, if I make it white and then I switch on my file, you cannot see your white separation because white set to overprint or multiply goes transparent. Therefore, we're all taught that basically we should create a spot color called white and we should make it like blue, for example. That's the most commonly used one. So now we see the white, but it's blue. So all your whites are blue, all your images contaminated by blue colors, you can't really see the intent of the design correctly. Now what normally happens is people basically put metallic in everything else. So in this background area, for example, you would have the silver substrate and that's it. So you'd have silver substrate and white. And it's quite a crude way of working. You get these kind of like hard edges. There's no photorealism, there's no shading, and quite honestly, it looks quite terrible. Now with ColorLogic, on the other hand, this image here, we have the ColorLogic separation. So you can see the image on the right actually looks right. It looks correct. And it looks correct because we're using our plugins. So first of all, we have a plugin from the plugin menu. It's an Adobe UXP based plugin. The image separation algorithms have been developed, like I said, based on what the press can do. So it takes into account things like ISO standard for the CMYK. And then calculates the optimum effect for the pixels in the image based on all these different properties. Yellow is more translucent than a blue. You need less metallic in the yellows than you do into the cyans. There's an anti-screen clash algorithm built in there. There's a whole range of complexity. But what it basically means is all you have to do is create metallic separation. So we've done one here. We've got the separation done. So the silver is the silver substrate. The white is the white ink mask. So unlike comparing it against the old-fashioned method, our separation shows you the silver substrate and the white, whereas the old-fashioned method doesn't show you a silver substrate, doesn't show you white. So what's the more logical thing? Design where you can see the effect correctly, accurately, with color separations that generates photorealistic separations. You've got tonal shading throughout there. It's not 100% white, it's not 100% silver substrate. We create tonal ranges based on our algorithms. So that means that we have these photorealistic separations. Now the next thing we're going to do is show you how we did it on your actual file, so we can show you how the plugin worked and what we did to it. We will then take that file and render it in the FX viewer, which we use to see the metallic effects, and then we can then see what the final printed result was like. Okay, so let's jump into it. Okay, so we're going to convert this image using the Image Effects plugin. So we'll go to the Plugins menu, ColorLogic, Image Effects. Going to click on Create Metallic Separation. That's going to analyze the image and calculate the optimum metallic effect for each pixel in the image based on its hue value. So we're going to end up with a new separation, which is the ColorLogic separation. And as you can see, it's a tonal image, meaning it's got different tints of the metallic effect throughout the image. Now, one thing we don't want is everything to be metallic. You want to get some contrast in there. So we're going to make a mask and we're going to delete what we don't want to be metallic. Now, it's as simple literally as basically, delete to white. That's it. So anything that's silver is the silver substrate, anything that's white is the white ink, and anything that's kind of grey is a tint of white. So what we have now is we have the metallic in the background. Now one thing that we don't want to do is create it too dark. So one thing you'll find with metallic substrates is they are grey. So basically we're going to compensate for that now. So go to the image mode, convert it to CMYK. We're going to make a selection of the ColorLogic layer. We're going to do a new color masking effect here. We're going to brightness and contrast. So using my properties box, I'm going to set that to 30. And that's just going to lighten that background, which basically compensates for the grayness of the silver substrate. We're going to do the same thing again. We're going to make a selection of the ColorLogic pixels. We're then going to do the similar sort of thing, but this time with the hue and saturation, and the hue and saturation in the actual saturation box, we're going to hit it to 15. So what that's doing now, you'll see here just slightly, we're just putting a little bit more color into the image to be compensated by that overpowering silverness of the substrate. And again, lightening the background a little bit through the ColorLogic separation, again, to compensate for the grayness of that material. Now, these are non-destructive layers, so we can always go back to the default file. We can now save that, and we can then take it into Illustrator, and then we can save it as a PDF file, create an FX Viewer movie, and send that to the customer. And that's what we're going to do next.